Welcome everybody to Google Sites. This afternoon we're going to talk about creating your own website using a tool in Google. And there's two ways that you can access Google Sites. The first way is going to be to log into your Gmail account. And when you do so, up in the upper right-hand corner, there are going to be 9 dots that look like a waffle iron. We're going to go ahead and click on those. Then we're going to come down here and click on Drive. Underneath Drive, you've got several different options, but what we want to look at today is going to New, and then down to More, and to Google Sites. The second way that you can access Google Sites is just to go directly to the website. You will need to be logged into your Gmail account. However, if you just go to sites.google.com/new, it will also allow you to start a new Google site. Go ahead and close that up and come back over here. Okay, when you first access your Google Sites, this is the screen that you're going to see. And what I like to do whenever I start a new website is just to select my background. Google Sites has many built-in backgrounds for you to choose from. So over here on the side, I'm going to go ahead and switch from Insert to Themes. And we're currently on what they call a simple theme. And that's got, you can make a few different changes to that color-wise. So if you just click on these, it will give you a live preview of what you can access. If you don't like any of the colors that it defaults to or that they suggest, you can certainly go to the color palette and add another color of your choice. And that's just the first theme. Here's some additional themes for you to look at. So that's the first thing that you want to do, is to select the theme your preference. And I tend to like the level 1. It's got a nice background. So I'm going to go ahead. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to highlight your title page. And I'm just going to rename my website. Let's say My Awesome Google Site. Now you see when I typed that in, it went to 2 lines, and I can adjust that very easily. With this blue box, we've got 2 different handlebars, and if I hover my mouse over the dots in the handlebars, I get an arrow to the east and the west, and I can move or manipulate my text box utilizing those handlebars. So you can extend that out if you want to, if you just want to move it around. If I hover my mouse over the top, I get 4 arrows, and I can click and I can drag the name of my site anywhere that I want to. Now, what I like to do is to make sure that my site title is centered not to my text box, but to my website itself. So I typically pull out to the edges, and then you can see that I've got a box right above that with some tools in it, and I can choose whether to have that left aligned, centered, right aligned, or justified. So any one of those you can select from in the toolbox right above your title. Next to that, you have the ability to select normal text, title, heading, subtitle, and small. And I'll just go ahead and demonstrate these for you. You can see that as I select lower categories, my font size gets smaller. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at title. If I want to, I can boldface it, I can italicize it, or I can clear all the formatting, or I can delete it and start over. That looks good to me, so we'll go ahead and leave that. The next thing that I want to do is I want to come up here and I want to give my site a name. So I'm just going to call this Julie's site. And below that, I can put in a logo. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Add Logo. It comes up and says, okay, that you've got brand images. You can put in a logo, or you can put in a fab icon. And when you think about a fab icon, what that is Google has the G, or Amazon has their A. And when you see that, you know that that is their company, or the Nike swoosh, that is their brand. I'm going to go ahead and just upload a logo. So I have a puppy paw that I'm going to upload. And you can see that I now have a puppy paw next to my website name, Julie's site. As soon as I type that in, it also named my document. So this is a live document. Every time that I make an edit, it is automatically saving it to my Google Drive so that I can access it anywhere, anytime that I have internet access. Okay, so I've got kind of my heading set up. I just wanted to show you one other option. If you would prefer to change your image, you can do that by coming down here and clicking Change Image. And I can upload a photo if I want to. And I'll just go ahead and select picture. It automatically adjusts so that it's the easiest read for your audience. And so you can change that if you want to, or if you are playing around with this, like when I first started with the Google Sites, I'd do something, I'd say, oh, I don't like that. And if you want to delete it, you can start over by coming over here and clicking on delete header. I'm not going to do that right now, but these little trash cans are available for you to delete items that you have inserted if you decide at a later time you don't like them. Okay, so we have 3 different areas over here. We have insert, we have pages, and we've already talked about themes. So I'm going to come back over here to insert. If I want to add another text box, the easiest thing to do is to go to insert and click on text box. It automatically brings in another text box for me. So I'm just going to say Julie's resources. And when I do that, I have the ability over here on the left-hand side to select a background. So there are some built-in backgrounds. You have regular, which is what it defaults to. You have an emphasis, and you have an emphasis 2. Now, again, just like I put my own, I personalized it, putting pictures of my own pups up there. I can do that with my text box, and I can select an image to upload as well. So if you want more images, that is a way to do it. You can duplicate the section. So if you want multiple links or multiple sections, rather than going through and those clicks, 4 or 5 clicks, you can duplicate this section if you'd like to. Or again, if you decide you don't like it, you can go in and delete the section. Okay, so that's one way that you can insert another text box. A second way to insert another text box is just to come down anywhere on your page and double click. And when you double click, this image appears, and you can see that it is almost identical to the first box in insert. So I can insert in embedded item, I can insert an image, I can upload something from the cloud, I can take something from my drive, or I can insert another text box. So really it's up to you, whatever source you want to take it from or insert it from. Below that, we have different layouts. So from your layouts, I'm just going to go ahead and click on each one of these. You don't necessarily need to select a layout. You can certainly design your own, but this gives you some ideas to go by. I'm just going to go ahead and we'll show you these. So you have the ability to insert images and have text below with this one. This one, it gives you 3 different images. The next one, it gives you another 3 different images. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the 4 images. And we're going to hold this one because I like this one. I want to go ahead and insert some additional pictures to share with my audience for my website. So you can see that I can come over here and click on the plus sign, and it will allow me, just as we were just talking about, to upload an image, to select an image from a different location, to take one from the drive. You can insert a YouTube video, you can insert a calendar, or you can insert a map. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on upload, and I am going to just insert some pictures here, and then we're going to go back and take a look at what we can do with those different pictures. So I'm just clicking on the plus sign, clicking on upload, and putting in some pictures. Now, if you want to, if you have pictures in a folder, like I have a folder here ready to go for this webinar, as opposed to clicking on the plus sign, you can certainly do a drag and drop, and it will put those pictures in as well. So whatever you prefer to do, we'll just grab 4 pictures there, and I'll go ahead and maximize that out. So I have my 4 pictures. So now I want to look at them a little bit more carefully. So I'm going to go ahead and just double click on this picture. And when I do that, it gives me the ability to crop the image, to uncrop the image, to add a link, or to delete the tile. The first thing I want to share with you is the cropping tool. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the cropping tool. And this gives me the ability to zoom in or out on my image. So I'm just going to go ahead and maybe zoom out a little bit. And when I'm done, I'm just going to click off of the picture, and you can see that I now have just the face of the pup in there, as opposed to the picture of her laying in the grass. Let's come over here to another picture, and we'll go ahead and crop on just one more. So when I focus, when I zoomed in, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to pull the picture down a little bit. So I've got that all framed up. Again, when you're done, go ahead and click off of it. If you decide you don't like it, you can uncrop it at any time you'd like to. Go ahead and do a little work with this one. Okay, so I've got my images the way that I want them. Now down below that, I can click to add text. Okay. So that's inserting the pictures. Like I said, inserting the pictures, you can insert them from any location. You can do a Google search, you can take them from your drive, you can upload them from your PC, you can go in and crop them, name them. I'm going to go ahead and I've got some different websites set up here. Remember when I double click, it gives me the option to embed a link as well. So I've got a couple of websites here. One is a YouTube video. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that website, or that URL. So I just highlighted youtube.com/watch in the YouTube link. I'm going to go back over to my site, and I'm going to click on Insert Link. And from Insert Link, I'm just going to go ahead and paste that website in. Click on Apply, and now when my visitors of my website come through, they'll be able to click on a link that will take them to that YouTube video. I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. So I found websites prior to the webinar starting. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that link, come back over to my Google site. I'll go ahead and select blue and just double click on the insert link. Then I'm going to paste the link in there, click on apply, and I have 2 active links in my website to date. Now, when you hover your mouse over, you don't see anything happen because currently we are in the, we're still in the publishing state. We haven't published anything yet. However, if you're going along, you want to see what it's going to look like live if someone goes to it, you can come up here and you can click on preview, and it will take you to another look. So this is what my website would look like if I published it right now. And you can see that when I hover my mouse over Bailey or over blue, that I get the hand indicating that yes, there is a hyperlink. These 2 pictures link to someplace, as opposed to my last 2 pictures, which do not, because my mouse face is an arrow as opposed to the hand that I get when I hover my mouse over the first 2 pictures. So if I click on this, it's simply going to open up that link. And it looks like we're off to a good start. Now, to get out of the preview mode, I'm just going to come up to the upper left-hand corner and I'm going to click on the back arrow. And it will take me back so I can begin working again. All right, I'm going to come down below Bailey. So you've got the ability to insert your text box or your images. You've got different layouts that you can select from. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come down and I'm going to insert an image carousel. So an image carousel, think about when you go to maybe to reserve a hotel and it says, okay, here's 30 images of the hotel, or maybe you're looking at buying a new house online or renting a new apartment, and it has multiple pictures for you to look at. This is what the author of that website did. They inserted a carousel with multiple images in it. So when I click on image carousel, it populates this window and it tells me that I need to have at least 2 images in here. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to click on the plus sign. I'm going to tell it that I want to upload an image. And I'm just going to go ahead and upload 4 pictures of one of my pups swimming. So I went ahead and selected all 4 at one time. I did that by holding down the shift key so I can upload all 4 at the same time, as opposed to going through those motions 4 times. The pictures are currently uploading, and as soon as they do, we'll go back to the preview mode so we can see what that looks like. Okay, I have my 4 pictures. I'm going to go ahead and click on insert. And at this point, we can tell that it's a carousel because at the very bottom, I've got 4 little dots. So those 4 dots are indicating that I have 4 pictures. If I uploaded 30 pictures, there would be 30 little dots right there. So let's go ahead and go back to our preview mode. And when I scroll down and hover my mouse over that picture, you can see that I can go from picture to picture to picture and then back to my original one. So you can go back and forth. Note that when I'm scrolling through these pictures that the little dot moves. So if you're used to an iPhone or an iPad, it's the same idea. That little dot just moves as I scroll through. Okay, so far everything is looking pretty good. You might be wondering what this is in the lower right-hand corner, and that gives me the ability to change my views. So I've got phone, tablet, and large screen. So I'll just go ahead and show you what these look like. The end user has the ability to change the views. So depending on what the person is logging in on. They can select phone view, tablet view, or large screen view. Okay, or they can report a problem. So if there's a problem with one of your links, they can report the problem. In my case, I'm the administrator of this website, so I would get a notification that there was something, that there was an error on my site. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on the back arrow, and that will take us back to the working level. Again, if I wanted to, I could select a different background. So if I want to go ahead and make that a yellow background, I can do so. I could upload an image. I think I'll just make that a regular. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to move down just a little bit down my screen. That was the image carousel. If I want to, I can insert. We'll do insert button here in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert a divider in between each one of my items. So I'm going to move that divider up. If you didn't see what I did, I inserted, let me go ahead and delete this. I inserted 2 dividers. So I've got 1 divider, but I need another one because I don't have anything in between these 4 pictures and the carousel of pictures. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert a second divider. I'm going to hover my mouse over the blue frame, get those 4 arrows, and I'm just going to drag and drop that up in between my first 2 sections of my website. Now, the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and add is maybe a YouTube video. So if I go to YouTube, I can maybe we'll just put in, I'm going to change my theme here. We'll put in wedding dance. And when I go to wedding dance, if you haven't watched this before, it's kind of funny. We're not going to watch it right now, but Google the JK wedding dance entrance. It's pretty funny. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on that, come down here and click on insert. And I now have a YouTube video on my web page. I'm going to come up, I'm going to go ahead and put in another divider. And then we'll move down and I can put in a calendar if I'd like to. Now I don't have much on my calendar. But the holidays in the United States are built into the Gmail calendar, or some of them are. So I'll go ahead and I'll just click on that. And I have selected that, and down in the lower right-hand corner, I need to click on Insert. And there's my calendar. Okay, let's go back and preview one more time just to see how we're coming along. So we have our 4 images. 2 of them are linked to external sources. We have our image carousel. We have our video that will now play from our website. And we have our holidays. So if you want to, notice when I hover my mouse over, I can expand this. So if I click on that, it will bring up the calendar itself. Okay, and that just opened a new tab. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, go back to my website, and we'll go out of the preview mode and back into the assemble mode. All right, so that was the calendar. If you want to, you can insert a map. So I can type in our location, Omaha, Nebraska, and it will give you a map of Nebraska, or you can move the hand around. If you want to, you can move it from map to satellite or map and have it show the terrain. Whatever you prefer. You can zoom in on the map, you can zoom out on the map. So if you want to be very specific, let's see. Okay, so I just typed in 72nd and Dodge, which is, as you know, is where the do space is located. So if that's the map that you want, you can go ahead and click on select, and it will insert that into your web page. Okay, so that is maps. Now down below that, you have the ability to insert docs, slides, sheets, forms, charts, whatever you have in there. So let me go ahead. Whoops, I forgot to put a divider in. So let me go ahead and put that divider in and move that up in between my calendar and my map. So if I click on Docs, it's actually going to open up my Google Drive and show me all of the docs that I have in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and select Google Sites and ask it to insert my Google Doc. Go ahead and put in another divider. Then I'm going to go down to Slides. And here's everything that I have in my Google Slides. We'll go ahead and just select the one that I created specifically for this webinar. Go ahead and put in another divider. Then we'll go to Sheets, which is just like Excel. And I've got some information in here. Let's see, there's a worksheet that I'm working on for a budget. So we'll go ahead and insert that. And we'll go back to put in another divider. And maybe we want to put in a chart. So this will show me all of the charts that I have in my Google Docs. And I can insert a chart. Where did it go? Maybe that didn't insert. Let's try that again. One spreadsheet should be selected. Oh, I see that chart is active in this worksheet. That's what's going on. Okay, so let's go back up. Let's go back up and go back to preview for a minute. Go ahead and see how we're doing. So we have our pictures, we have links, we have our carousel, we have a YouTube video, we have our calendar, we have our map in there. So note that now that I've gone down to my Google Doc and my Google presentation, that if I click on the arrow, it's going to open that in Google Docs. So I just clicked on it, and whoever has access to my website will also have access to any of the Google documents that I add to that. And my Google Sheets. Okay. So it's looking pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and go back. We'll go back out of our preview so we can look at some more features here. So if I come up here to pages, right now I only have one page, which is Julie's site. If I click on the plus sign, I can insert a new link or I can insert a new page. I'll go ahead and just insert a new page, and we'll call this MS Office Handouts. So I'm going to go ahead and just call this new page Microsoft Office Handouts. I'm going to go ahead and click on Done. And now you can see at the top, I have two different sheets. I have my home that we just created, and I have MS Office Handouts. So at the top, I can click and toggle between the two. Okay, on my MS Handouts, I'm going to come back here to Insert, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to go ahead and go to my Google Drive. And in my Google Drive, I'm going to go through and I'm going to find a folder called Microsoft Office Handouts. When I double click on, when I select that, let me go ahead and go back. Okay, when I select that and embed it into this page, it now gives me the folders with my Excel handouts, my PowerPoint handouts, my Word handouts, and so on. So let's go ahead and go back to our preview to see what our website is going to look like. And if I click on the folder for Microsoft Excel, it will open up those documents in my Google Drive. So I can give folks access to that as well. As a matter of fact, that's typically how I use the Google Sites, is I share different resources with participants and different faculty members this way. It's easy because I can go in and update the material, and they can just come in, they can access it through the Google Drive, or they can choose to download it to their own PC and have that available. So I'm just going to go back to home, and we're going to get out of the preview mode. And I'm going to come back over here to home. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Okay, come over here to home. Now I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and this time what we're going to do is we're going to create a link to another page. So I'm going to come back over here to my drive, and I'm going to go to New and to More, and I'm going to start a brand new Google site. So there's two ways that you can handle this. You can insert additional pages and have them available for folks to click on at the top, or if you want various links, you can also put links in that will allow the end user to access different data that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to call this one, I'm going to use the same example, MS Office Handouts. Again, we'll adjust this a little bit. And then I'm going to put in a text box. We'll just call this my handout link. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. I'm going to come up to, oh, hang on. Getting ahead of myself. This isn't the handout link. I need to delete that. First of all, we need to put our handouts in there. So I'm going to go back to my drive. And we'll go ahead and insert that again. Okay. So I have this ready to go. In order to go back to my awesome Google site and insert a link from my site to the MS Office handouts, I need to do a couple of different things. First of all, I need to name this. So we'll just call this the same thing. Just go ahead and paste that up there. Again, you can add a logo if you want to. If I want to go ahead and add in my signature logo of the puppy paw, I can do so on each one of my sites. And there it is. It's named, it's saved. We're going to go ahead and we are going to publish this website. So it says, okay, the web address is going to be ms-office-handouts. I'm going to go ahead and click on publish. And that site has been successfully published. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to the website address. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to go ahead and copy it. I'm going to come back over here to Julie's site. And down at the bottom, I'm going to insert a text box. And now we'll call this MS Handouts. Go ahead and highlight that, and we're going to embed this link. Okay, what is going on here is that I have two different Gmail accounts, and I logged out of one of them, assuming that it wouldn't be associated with this, but let me see if I can fix that real quickly. That's why it's telling me that I don't have permissions. Let's see if we can close those up. Now let's try it again. Time bad to look fireside permissions. Shoot. Well, that is what's going on, folks. This has happened to me before. So if that happens, it's because it's simply trying to go to another one of my Gmail accounts. And without logging into another account and doing a few other things, that won't work. So let's go back to my site. That is how you would insert a link, and then it would be just like a hyperlink. Let's go ahead and show you how you can add different people in. So let's say that you want to create a website with a work associate or a friend of yours. Just like in the Google Drive, you can come up here and click on Share with Others. So I can go ahead and click on the Share with Others, and I can type in different people. So I'll just go ahead and select Patricia Smith since she populated first. And I'll say, hi, Pat. This is the website we work on. So when I do that, what's going to happen if you're not familiar with how the Google Drive works? I can add as many people in here as I want to. I can add one person, I can add 50 people. And then when I type in this message and click on send, it's going to send them an email with this link in there so that he or she can log in and begin working with you. Now, if you don't want that person to be able to be an editor, you as the administrator of the website can change that. So if you don't want them to be able to make any changes, you can select published viewer only. So they would only be able to see it once you have published the website. However, if you want help with the website or the document, then you can go ahead and select that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on send. That's how you would invite someone to either view your published website. So if you had information that you wanted to share with them, they would be able to, even though they're not an editor, if they were a published viewer, they would be able to download documents or look at YouTube videos, whatever the case may be. But if you want that person to be able to upload information to the website, you would want to keep them as an editor. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on send. And it says that there is another person added. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to publish this. Okay, let's just call it, this is a great name, but it's already taken. That one is, there we go, it'll let me publish that one. Okay, so I gave my my website a web address. I'm going to go ahead and click on publish. And there we have it. There is a published website out there called Julie Hamilton Dort. So yeah, as you can see, this is pretty easy. It's fun to play around with. Like I said, you can have different pages up here, or you can insert links within the document. All of the tools over on the right-hand side, are all clickable, allowing you to insert images, links, whatever the case may be. You've got all of those tools built in for you. All right, with that, I haven't seen any questions yet. No?
Well,
all right.
If anybody does want to ask any questions, we can take a minute or two.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, you got one in the Q&A. When you publish your website, is your Google your server, or do you still need to purchase that?
No, Google is your server. Yeah, good question.
Perfect. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Julie.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great Friday.
You too. Bye.
Thanks.